Hi there, I'm Lorna of Lorna Green Yoga and welcome to my YouTube channel. Today I've got a quick question for you. Do you want more good vibes for your whole day? Well, of course you do, and the answer is super simple. You need to get moving first thing in the morning. I've got a short class for you today. It's one of my favorites when I feel really stiff and tired myself, and you can use this as a standalone practice or you can integrate it with other things. I so often start practicing this thinking, this is all I've got the energy for today, but then I get moving and those good vibes take over and I just want to keep going. So if you feel as good as I think you're going to feel when you finish the practice today, type good vibes into the comments. And remember that a quick thumbs up really helps the channel to grow. Now, come and meet me on the mat in a standing position. Begin by standing on your mat with your feet about hip distance apart, rooting down through the soles of the feet. You can take your palms and just gently lay them on your belly. Close your eyes if it feels good to do so. Take a big breath in and release it, perhaps with an audible sigh. You don't need to do anything fancy, no special breath, just tuning into how your breath is moving this morning. Notice the parts of you that perhaps feel a little sticky or tight, any part that feels resistant. Breathing deeply. Each breath, feel your feet rooting into the floor more and more, and just check in that you are equally balanced between the soles of the feet. So you want to make sure that you've got equal pressure from left to right, and also that the pressure on each foot is balanced. So there's 3 points that you're interested in the soles of the feet. The first is at the heel. The second is the ball of the foot at the big toe, and then the ball of the foot at the small toe. And if you need to, just begin to gently sway from side to side. And as you do this, you'll notice you can feel a shift in your weight. So you might feel a little more as you roll back into the heels. If you lean forward, you'll feel it more in the balls of the feet. Look for that sweet spot where it feels equal and balanced from left to right, from back to front. And just hang out there, focusing on your breathing. Greeting the day with purpose and with intention. You release the hands to the side of the body. Begin to roll the neck, dropping your left ear to left shoulder. Let your chin rock forward, right ear to right shoulder. And then if you can, just roll the head all the way back, drawing circles as if you are drawing circles with the crown of your head. Now, if it doesn't feel good to let your head drop back, just make little semicircles instead of drawing the full circle all the way around. Let's do one more. Your neck gets so restricted from sitting in front of computers, from the lack of movement that we do throughout the day. So it's good to introduce a full range of motion into your spine, because your spine's supposed to move like this. Just do it slowly, with awareness. No rush, no effort. Coming back to center. Take a big breath in. Begin to roll the shoulders. There's 4 parts to rolling your shoulders. Forward, up, drawing the shoulder blades together, and then pulling the fingertips down towards the floor to bring the shoulder blades down. And you want to make those 4 parts move together in one fluid action. So there's a little bit more to rolling your shoulders than, just kind of rolling them around. It's actually quite hard work if you do it correctly. Let's move in the opposite direction. Same 4 movements. This time we're squeezing the shoulder blades together, reaching the shoulders up towards the ears, rolling forward and down. You'll find one direction always feels a little bit more challenging than another. Close your eyes again if it helps you to connect with that movement. One more roll. And just release the hands, release the shoulders. Just step your feet a little bit wider than hip distance. You might want to turn the toes out to about 45 degrees. Begin to roll your hips. Sexy hip rolls. Always a good thing first thing in the morning. Now remember that you're moving your hips, you're moving this midsection of your body. So it's not your whole body that's rolling around, but just try and isolate from the rib cage to the pelvis. And you want to feel your pelvic bone actually moving and tilting. So there's 4 parts to this movement. You've got side to side action as well as a forward and back movement, opposite way. And again, you might notice that it feels easier in one direction than it does in the other. The slower you go, the more you're going to feel. The faster you go, the more heat you're going to create. Some days it's going to feel good to go fast, and some days you just want to close your eyes and experience all of the sensations, all of the feelings that this brings up in your body. Coming back to center, bringing your feet together. Bend your knees. Bring your palms to your knees. We're going to begin to roll like you're doing the Charleston. Yeah, I know you're all looking at me going, how old are you, Lorna? Circling the knees doesn't just lubricate the knee joint, it actually gets all the way down into the ankles as well. So take this one easy again. First thing in the morning, you don't have to go too deep, opposite way. Just rolling and shifting your weight. Use your hands as a guide. Your hands are really only there to help you to draw these circles. Standing all the way up, we're going to just stretch out the ankles. So shifting your weight to the outer border of the right foot, and then shifting it all the way over to the outer border of the left foot. So you're actually letting yourself roll over onto that outer border, feeling a stretch to the outside of the ankle. It's really quite yummy to do this, especially early in the day. So our feet get really compressed over the course of the day, and of course when you sleep at night, your muscles start to shorten because you're not using them, and this is just a beautiful way to stretch out a part of you that's pretty tight a lot of the time. One more. And just placing the feet back to that hip distance, just check in, make sure that you've got that equal balance. You're going to extend your arms out to the side of the body. Fingers are wide, your palms are facing forward. Push your chest forward, arch your back, and you can just take your gaze to look upwards. We're not tilting the head back, but just looking upwards so you can feel that opening through the front of the body. A little bit of a squeeze into the lower back. Press your elbows behind you, opening your chest. And as you breathe out, turn your palms, pressing the palms away from you. Feeling that stretch all the way to the fingertips. You really do feel it if you push through the palms. There's not such an arch in your back as you do this. You're breathing out, and then as you breathe in again, turn the palms, push the chest. Take a breath in and out. Keep pulling the shoulder blades down the back. If I just turn to the side so you can see what's happening here as I inhale, pressing my elbows behind me, pushing the chest forward, arching the back, opening up, squeezing into those shoulder blades as much as I can. As I breathe out, turning the palms, I'm just going to tilt the pelvis, bringing my hips into alignment with my knees, my ankles, and pressing through. Oh, the heel of the hand, I can feel that all the way up to my middle finger. Inhale, arch and open, push the elbows behind you. Exhale, press the palms away. And releasing the hands. Taking an inhale, reach your arms all the way up overhead as if you're being lifted up towards the ceiling. So there's not too much of an arch in your back. Bending your knees, let your belly float down towards your thighs. Take your arms out to the side so you can lengthen through the spine. And then let your head sink down to the floor, your fingertips brushing the floor as you keep the knees bent. Feeling gravity doing all of its work in between the vertebrae of the spine. Maybe a little side-to-side movement here feels good too. You can play. Take a breath in as you prepare to move. Exhaling. You're going to extend your arms out to the side, long through the spine. Press the floor away with your feet as you rise up. Inhale, reaching your hands above you. Exhale, drawing the palms down through center. You're going to inhale once again, reaching up. Exhale, long through the spine, drawing yourself down to the floor. Inhale, prepare. Exhale, float and fly all the way to rise up. Inhale, palms up. Exhale, down. Let's add another element to this, warming up a little bit more of the body. Inhale, exhale, sinking down, long spine, all the way down to the floor. Fingertips coming to the floor. You're going to rise up on your toes, keeping your knees bent, your belly glued to your thighs. Let your head be heavy. As you exhale, sink your hips down towards the floor. Stay up on your toes. Once your hips come down to land, sink your heels down. So let your heels get heavy. And it doesn't matter at this point if your heels touch the floor or not. Forearms coming down to the floor. Belly just drops between the thighs. Head stays heavy. All of your weight is really in your butt, your hips, the lower body. We're going to reach forward, coming onto the knees. Untuck the toes, coming into a child's pose. And then you're going to take your hands to the side of the body, hips to heels, hands behind you. Push your chest up to the sky. Let your head drop back if it feels good to do so. And then we're going to go back in the opposite direction. You're going to sweep your hands forward, tucking your toes, pressing into your heels, coming to your little squat. Let your head drop, forearms to the floor. Take a breath, pressing through the floor. You're going to rise up onto your tippy toes again, pressing the hips upwards. Keep the knees bent, belly glued to the thighs. Inhale, and as you exhale, heels come down to the floor, arms out to the side, rising up. Inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, bring the palms down through center. Let's do it again. Doesn't it feel good to move your body? Bending the knees, floating down long through the spine. Really send your hips down and away from you. Let your hands drop to the floor. Raise up onto your toes. Sink your hips towards your heels. Stay up on those toes for a moment. And then when you reach the floor, heels sinking down, knees get a little bit wider so your belly can drop down, your forearms can come to the floor. And at any point, if it feels really good, if it feels really delicious in a particular spot, just hang out there. There's no rush with this. Coming onto the knees, untuck the toes, coming to your child's pose, sweeping your arms around to the side of the body and pressing up through the shoulders, through the chest. Let the head drop back if it feels good to do so. Once more, coming back to your child's pose, tuck the toes, rocking onto the heels. Big breath in. Then we're going to come up onto the toes once again. So make sure that you're really pushing up onto the toes as much as you can. Raising the hips up, keeping the knees bent. It's hard work. Heels sink down as you exhale. Extend your arms long through the spine as you rise up once more. Breathing down through center. I'm going to do 2 more of these. Inhale, float down, belly comes to the thighs, push up through the toes. Exhale, sink your hips down, sink your heels down, and just hang out for a moment. Maybe just shifting your weight a little from side to side. Keep thinking about, imagine you're trying to get your butt to sit down on the floor, so as low as you can go. And then reaching forward, coming into a little brief child's pose. Swim your arms out to the side. And this time, if you want to go a little bit further, you can even raise the hips up. Push your hips high. And all the way down. And forward. Pushing up onto the heels. Rock back onto the toes. As you raise up, exhale, and inhale, reach up. Exhale down through center. This is our last one. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, floating down, belly to thighs, long spine. Gravity's taking over and doing all of the work. Push up onto the toes. Sink your hips down. Heels come down. Belly comes down. Everything is just heavy. Take some breaths. Maybe make some movement if it feels good. Swimming your arms forward. Rocking off the toes so your feet are flat. Now if you find that your feet get a little bit crampy here, then by all means stay up on the toes. Pushing your hips up, your chest up. It's a celebration. It's morning time. It feels so good. Going forward, rocking. And this time we're just going to hang out in our little low squat. Take some breaths here. And then if you can, just allow yourself to drop back, crossing the legs, sitting up tall. I'm going to turn this way. Sitting up tall, lifting yourself out of your spine, or out of your hips, not out of your spine. You want to stay in your spine, that's important. Take a big breath in and out. Feel your body, feel how good it feels to have moved just for a few moments. Nice deep breath in and out. If you want to, you can take the hands back to the belly where we started today. Relax the shoulders, draw the shoulder blades down and away from the ears. Find some stillness. Maybe notice if there's some gurgles and grumbles coming from your tummy. This is good. It's a sign that your digestion's starting to waken up too. And you can hang out here as long as you need to, as long as it feels good. Finding some stillness. Set your intentions for the day. Decide on all the action that you're going to take, all the things that are going to happen. Feel gratitude for this body, the space that you're in, this gift of self-care that you've given yourself at the beginning of the day. And only when you're ready, flutter your eyelids open and go out and have an amazing day.